the project introductions by the VISTRA project, where I will present the success story. I would like to start with a little bit about the project background, and then I will explain the story which the project has taken so far. I'm not sure if it's a success story, so it's too early to say that. But it's a story, and I will conclude with an overview about the key achievements and with some perspectives from the project management. I have also some first videos from the first project demonstrator with me. So, yeah. As I said, work in progress. We still have more than 1 year to go, and the experience shows that most projects, they catch up in the last year, and they are able to do really nice things only in the last months of the project. So let's see what we are able to do still. About the project background, it's about PLM and using the information from product design, reusing the information from product design to enable new applications, which can help to improve the ramp up and also the production itself. This application, where we are focusing on, is virtual training, and our aim is to establish interactive game-based trainings, which are based on cut information from CAD tools, from computer-aided layout planning, and computer-aided production planning. And by using that data, we can extend the scope of digital factory applications. So here we see which data we are currently using to create training applications. You see from geometry models, simulation models, also station layouts, and so on. All this information is captured and it is stored in a modular semantic structure. This modular semantic structure is fine-grained, and it's also very flexible to be adapted to your needs, to your applications, and to the data which your enterprise offer. So there is a module for the factory and workplace layout. There is the operation model, which explains the assembly sequences. There's the product model. There's a model for meta information. Here on the left-hand side, this is what is coming from engineering and planning. And on the right-hand side, there we have defined also a structure for user models, for planning, for statistics and feedback, which are very important for training applications. And this semantic structure builds the VISTRA semantic core model. And the question is now how to move on from enterprise data into our fine-grained semantic structure. And to do so, we are developing automatic integration mechanisms. We're using rule-based mapping, which supports various import formats. Each enterprise uses different data, has different enterprises that delivers their toolchain, and so we have also to cope with various geometry files, and therefore we have also the possibility to modular extend our integration tool by various geometry converters. So the aim is basically to reduce the need for physical mockups and to complement physical mockups by virtual training. And we are looking not only in the technical development of this virtual training, but also in the organizational integration and in the user acceptance. And the second goal is what I have said before. How can we bring manufacturing and product design together? How can we share information from white-collar workers to blue-collar workers on the shop floor? And we think we also show here a tool which is able to do that. To the story, this first story is about how the project came to life, and I think I don't have to explain much about how to set up a project. You all are successful in getting funding. That's why you're here, so I would skip that. But I just want to say we have spent very much time in just setting up the project already, and we have, for example, met already 3 times with our core team in face-to-face meetings to discuss what we want to propose. So we have spent a lot of effort in this project already without having any funding, and that's why that's because why we we are thinking this is an important research topic which should be investigated. And we were finally successful, we were happy, we received funding. So we started with the kickoff. And especially in the beginning of the project, I think it's very important that you familiarize with your partners, that you establish good communication channels, and to start to implement your exploitation and dissemination strategies. So my recommendation to you is, in the beginning of the project, try to meet at high frequency, because that will be beneficial for later on if you have already established these communication channels within your consortium. So don't worry about the budget or the travel budget. This you can stress in the beginning, but it will help you later on with the integration of what you're doing. After meet, you will come in the phases which we could call walk, because you have to specify the system, you have to start developing, and really important is integration. So if you do not integrate what the single partners develop, then you will not be able to show a feasible solution. You will not be able to bring your project to life. And we spend very much time on integration. That's not always nice for researchers, but I think it's important in order to get to some results. So I think our project is running smoothly and it's proceeding according to the work plan. I have some demos. The first demo is quite boring. It's about the data mapping. So if the video starts, you see only here the console where we start the mapping of the process data and the conversion of the geometry data. So what we are doing here is mapping the information coming from Opel, and we are translating a car, and the information is from a product, from a car, into the training format. So this would take probably 10 minutes, and once it's finished, we can use that data for training. The nice thing is, until now, creation of virtual training took several days, and we can reduce that to maybe 10-15 minutes by doing that. And then we can use that data in order first to set up training. So what we have to do is, first we create a user group. This is our tool for the creation of user groups for training management. So all this is connected to a single access database. And what we're doing now is creating the first training group. We have to assign a manager to that group. This manager has the responsibility for the trainees. So there are also organizational processes behind, which has first to be analyzed and understood. And then we can try to transform that organizational processes into a training tool. Once we have created the training group, we have also to start to add some workers and trainees to our system. That is also fairly simple at the moment. So this new user is added to one group, and we have to define this role as a trainee. And now we have the first user for the training. There are also some more options. You can modify these training plans. You can also visualize them later on. So this is still ongoing, but this is the first prototype. What we do now is create a training. We can choose training by different assembly sequences, which were mapped into the training format before. So we can search assembly sequences by plants, by shops, or sublines. And this is still a little bit cryptic, the description here, but for our end user, Opel, they understand what these numbers means. But we are also trying to make these expressions more explicit. So once the training is created, we have to give them a name and we have to set up a training period. we specify, or we add the trainees. And now there are some parameters for the training, like the difficulty or the time you want to assign to the training. All this can be changed, but this is still work in progress. So let's save this training and let's see how the game looks like. So as I said, it's work in progress. So you will encounter a lot of problems which we are currently working on, but we have every week new releases, so maybe next week some of the problems are already solved. So about the process, first is the interactive demonstrator. So we're using the Kinect and a Microsoft Nano and the Nintendo controller. So the person has to stand in front of the input devices and to calibrate the system first. Once the system is calibrated, you can use gestures to go through the menu structure. And at the moment, we only want to do the simulation training. It's not game-based, it's only simulation-based. This is the training which we just have created before, so both programs are working interconnected to each other. And we are loading now the training scene. So this is the factory, and now the models which were converted before into the training environment, they are here. What we see is the door from a car. The user is able to move around the camera with the controller, and he has to put the tool to remove the screws here. So it's still a little bit difficult. The user interaction must improve, but basically we are able to set up the training operations, and we have the first simple user interaction achieved. So and this is then open to be to all kinds of product data through our flexible integration mechanism. Okay, so still in progress, technical improvements are needed. At the moment we do some first tests and trials, but we also try to intensify our dissemination and exploitation activities. I think that is also part of each of all projects. So yeah, this event here is one of these activities in this field. I would like only to stress that dissemination might change during the run of the project. So in the beginning, when you don't have first results, you do the typical thing, you present your conceptual ideas behind the project, you start to create and distribute some public material, and when you have the first results, you move on to fairs and workshops. That's what we intend to do. So we will be at the Hanover Fair, or on the CERN 2014, to present VISTRA and to organize a workshop there. So this is already an announcement which I can make here. About exploitation, we have been contacted by many enterprises from automotive to aerospace, and that makes clear that we need a business plan, because we have a high commercial potential for what we're developing, but still we are weak in this matter of this business plan, so this is still something which we must develop. Okay, you have seen what we have done so far. We have developed an import mechanism, we have created a training tool, a tool for the management of the training, and we have developed an interactive and immersive training environment. So the last period of the project will be used to improve all of these three components, and we are hopefully we are positive to fulfill our aims. Yeah, so to conclude, only a short perspective from project management. So about partner structure, I think it's really important to have some industrial partners which are committed to the project. So it's important that the industry defines their needs, and that then the researchers try to develop and implement concepts on their needs. What you also need is an integrator that shares the vision and that sees the business opportunity behind that concepts. And it's always nice to have also living labs integrated, where you then can demonstrate and multiply your results. Additionally, I would recommend to make your project extensible. And this is something where you have about what you have to think about when you write a proposal. So think about third-party involvement, think about the IMS initiative, why not? So make your European project international, or try to seek the collaboration with other FP7 projects, like we did with the No4Car project, and like we try to do with other projects today. Yeah, I talked about the industry-driven character of projects, which is really important. And yeah, I would like to conclude with the team structure. So what do we need? We need, for sure, researchers. So we need not only one, we need a lot of researchers that define concepts that then will be worked out by a software developer behind that. You need a technical coordinator that is behind the project, that pushes you if you do not deliver the results in time. So our project coordinator, I think he's more keen than the commission, which is really good for us. He makes us work. You need creative people that design the website, that design the flyers and the slides and so on, because we have to be visual today. We have to transform our ideas and to transfer our ideas to the outside world. So, and I think that is what you basically need for a successful project. And the business guy, not to forget the guy that gets rich in the end when the project is working fine. I forgot maybe the coordinator, so the brave guy in the end. And something else I forgot. Yeah, I forgot the commission, the dark side. And yeah, that's all from my side, so thank you for your attention.